Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. So today I'm doing a very special video. I was asked by a friend of mine overseas, which I absolutely love, and she is a director with Scentsy Family as well. And her name is Christine, and I'm doing this for her team, but I'm also going to double up on it and include my team as well. So welcome to all of you to my video, and I am honored to be doing this video for you guys. Excuse me. So let me start off by telling you who I am and why she might have asked me to do a video. I am EdieAnne, and I've been with Scentsy for a little over 3 years. I have been in the computer industry for, gosh, I would say close to 17 or 18 years at this point, and learned a lot through that time in regards to social media, through computers and software, and how things kind of change a lot. And so she asked me to do a video on online tips. And I think that I want to preface the fact that things might change online pretty often. However, the one main thing that remains constant in both offline and online is the relationships that we build and how we do that. So when you're talking about any kind of sales, whether it be Scentsy Family or any other direct sales for that matter, and even retail, the fact that we need to build trust is probably going to be the dominant key to any sales or sharing that you do. So when you're doing it online, it's a little bit longer process. It's a little bit tougher of a read, meaning that it's sometimes harder to tell what other people are thinking or even sometimes what they're saying. I know that when we're typing messages back and forth to each other, the context of the message can sometimes be interpreted wrong based on capital letters or, just you're not hearing how they're expressing themselves while they're typing. So sometimes the message can get a little bit messed up. It can get interpreted differently or in some cases blatantly wrong. So it's really important that you communicate back and forth often so that that character can be built and the trust can be built, okay? So any social media platform that you find yourself in, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest or LinkedIn, there's going to be a bit of a different dynamic for each of them because they are different social platforms, and different types of people will flock to different social platforms based on the type of audience that there is. So, Twitter is much more fast-paced than Facebook is, and YouTube is much more visual than LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is much more business oriented. So it really depends on the type of environment that you want to be part of and that you feel you fit in well with. So social media, the biggest tips that I can give are to not overwhelm yourself in all platforms. My suggestion, and again, these are just my opinions, my suggestions, my experience through the use of social media, and other people's experiences that I've incorporated and learned from. Don't overwhelm yourself by going into all the social media platforms. Granted, you may want to be there eventually with your business and your personal profiles and that sort of thing, but don't overwhelm yourself by trying to learn all of them at once. Find one that you connect with, learn that one, and move on to the next one and add it to your repertoire rather than putting all of them in there all at once and trying to learn all of them at once. If you like video, then pick the programs or the social medias that allow video. So YouTube would be huge, and building relationships on YouTube would be your first priority. Well, now Instagram allows video, so that might be your next one that you try to get into. Based on visualization, Pinterest might be one that you would like to get into next. So again, don't overwhelm yourself by trying to learn all of them at once, because it will become overwhelming. And in most cases, when people are overwhelmed, they give up, they give into it, and they move on to something else, or they feel like they're failing and they're not succeeding. So I would suggest strongly to pick your, what does my mother used to say? Pick your battles, and don't overwhelm yourself, okay? You have a choice not to, so choose not to. Okay, now another thing that I might suggest is prioritizing your time online. You can do a lot with social media, but you can do a lot of benefit or a lot of good with your marketing on social media, but you can also do a lot of not so good on social media. And what I mean by that is you can actually consume yourself and get wound up and caught up online, where you could be doing much more lucrative income producing activities. And what I mean by income producing activities is things that will provide you with a new customer base, with new sales, with new team members. Those three bases are what is important to our direct sales business, right? So getting bookings and getting sales and getting recruits. So if what you're doing is not leading to one of those three, then limit it. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't have your own personal life and you can't do your own thing, and it's totally up to you. Now, I spend a lot of time online because of where I live. I only have 198 people in my town, so I had to find a way around my own obstacle. Now, we, in this day and age, do get caught up very much in our Facebook world, for one. And it's very easy to go and look at a picture on Pinterest and then 2 hours later be flipping through the pictures to find all kinds of things, and one picture leads to another and another and another, and then you find out that 2 hours have gone by and you've wasted a lot of time. Now, if you feel that the connections that you've made by looking at those pictures and possibly posting comments and that sort of thing has made a potential to get more bookings or to get more sales or a potential recruit, then there could be an argument there that you could be spending time online in a productive, income producing manner. I will admit that there are times that I am just messing around on Facebook and answering, other people's posts, or maybe just going through the feed and seeing what other people's things are happening in their lives. But when I realize that I'm doing that very often, I can spin myself to say, okay, let's read into what's happening in this person's life. Did they just reflect with us that she or he lost their job? Is there something that I can provide for them as an opportunity or a service to help them? And in that respect, you've kind of spun it around to be an income producing activity, because online our relationships take a lot longer to build. And that's something that you have to remember. Building a relationship face to face with someone is almost instantaneous. And I say that because most of us have the innate ability to read people. And online, that's very difficult to do. Okay? So I think that it's important to remember that you have to schedule your time, or at least limit your time online, so that you don't get sucked into the vortex of social media. And lastly, I think I'm going to share one more with you. I was going to leave it at 2, but I think we're going to do another one. I'll give you a bonus. You need to remember that all of these social platforms have their own rules, policies that have to be abided by in order for them to be able to keep these platforms, for the most part, free for us, okay? So if you cannot abide by your own direct sales rules and regulations, and you can't abide by the Facebook, let's say, rules and regulations, or YouTube's rules and regulations, then you don't need to be on social media. Okay, and I'm being very blunt because what's happening is, for instance, Facebook is not breaking, but they're locking down on individuals for not using Facebook appropriately. What I mean by that is, for instance, a lot of people will post business links, business posts, business comments on their personal profile page. Well, Facebook's rule is that you create a fan page to promote your business. That was the purpose of that. Now, Facebook, it was originally a social platform. Think about social platform means a social environment for us to connect and reconnect with friends, family, but not to do business, okay? But what happened is there were some brilliant people out there who realized the magnitude of what they could accomplish with reaching hundreds and thousands and millions of people, okay? So they started promoting their businesses, and it began to fester a much more lucrative way of doing business. So Facebook had to put some latch downs and said, no more promoting of your business on the personal profile page. Let's create you a platform so that you can. So that was where the fan pages came from. So my suggestion is to create a fan page. Do your business from your fan page. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't talk about your business on your personal profile page. My suggestion is to incorporate it in your everyday life. So don't make it an advertisement or a marketing post. Instead, incorporate it into what you're doing in your business in your everyday life. So for instance, with Scentsy, I would say something like, oh, the kids and I just spent the night labeling. What a great way to bond with the family. I didn't talk about Scentsy per se, right? But I did because I told them that I was labeling. I was labeling product, but I was doing it with my family and we were getting some bonding time. Now, that's not an advertisement. That is a way to include your business in your everyday life. Now, on my fan page, I might say something like, we are having a Mother's Day bundle sale. Go to this link if you want to purchase it, or message me and let me know if you would like to do that. So there's a big difference between incorporating it in your life and advertising, okay? So I think that, you need to do that on all social platforms, because eventually all social platforms are going to be using those same policies, and you want to be ahead of the game. You don't want to be chasing your tail. You don't want to be eliminated from the social media realm, because even Facebook is shutting down pages that they feel are spammy or not following their policies. So it's important to read up on Facebook's policies. It's important to read up on your direct sales company's policies. Make sure that you're melding them together and that you're not abusing the system. Okay? So I just wanted to give you some of my tips. Those were the 3 biggest for me. And I'm very honored that I was asked to do this video. And I actually have to put a little bit of a disclaimer here at the end, and she's probably going to say, well, you didn't need to do that. But she asked me to do this video a long time ago, and I'm not sure if my Facebook messages got crossed, if the wires in my head got crossed, but it totally slipped underneath the radar and didn't get done. And I am so apologetic for that, and I apologize for it taking as long as it did to get to you. But hopefully you found this helpful and that your team finds this helpful. If you have any questions, by all means, contact me. All of my information is in the information bar below. And I look forward to meeting some of you, or if not all of you, at our Scentsy Family reunion. That would be amazing. I know that Christine is actually going to be in our UK on the European side when I go to Greece. I think I'm going to get to miss her because I think I'm going to be coming in too late. So I apologize for that. I wish I could give you a big hug and meet you. Hopefully, maybe you could stay an extra day because I'll be there on Sunday. Maybe. All right, you guys, have an amazing day. Go and make it an amazing day for somebody else, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.